There was a study in 2023 in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Doctors noticed that a sharp rise in nitrous oxide related hospitalizations was linked to a severe and permanent spinal cord injuries in young users.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's dangerous because it's kind of like considered like a party drug, right? So like, oh, let's all get a canister and sit around and, do this together. So it starts to become, I mean, unless you're deep in addiction, then you're not sharing with anybody. You're just getting that for yourself. But it can start off innocently like that, like, oh, we're just, partying together. Let's all do a little of this nitrous. But even just a little bit, it is dangerous and it starts to become that sort of mentally addictive thing where it's like, I want to check out real quick, but I don't want to like be high for super long. And so people seek it out because they can get really high, but then really quote unquote back to normal fairly quickly. So it starts to seem more appealing than
Yeah.
some of the more long term acting drugs that people are like, I just don't want to be high for 10 hours. This starts to become appealing where you get super high, but then quote unquote be normal not too long afterwards.
Yeah, definitely wanted to highlight like, yes, death is a concern. You can die from this stuff, but that doesn't mean, like that's the only consequence. Like there are other long-term health consequences with this. It's not, yeah, and it's not just like, um, you know, be worried about immediate death. There's things like, you can basically get, like a smaller, lesser of evil. You get like frostbite in your lips and your nose, but more serious, you can have a collapsed lung from using
Mm.
this stuff. And then there's brain damage. The most severe risk of chronic use is irreversible nerve damage, right? So this happens when nitric oxide breaks down and inactivates B12 in the body. So it just depletes your B12 systems. So that's a major side effect. And then there's neurological damage. So because of that B12, deficiency, that can cause what is called subacute combined degeneration. So that's a condition that leads to numbness, tingling, weakness, and loss of coordination even. So there was a study in 2023 in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Doctors noticed that a sharp rise in nitrous oxide related hospitalizations was linked to a severe and permanent spinal cord injuries in young users. And that's wild, right?
Yeah. I mean, and again, you think you're just, safely, and I think again, the draw to this drug, similar to kratom, is like, oh, well, at least it's not fentanyl. At least it's not going to kill me. And yet, because it's unregulated, because there's not studies put out about it, people don't realize the effects that can happen because of it. And again, this is why we have these podcasts, is to let people know that these substances, although not illegal, are still just as harmful to the body, the
Mhm.
brain, the mind, the spirituality. Like it affects everything, much like any other drug that is illegal and regulated.